Hi there, welcome to another Stellaris Dev Diary Text and Talk number 62 about government, civics and hive minds. Hive minds are actually part of the government. Do you want to be governed by a hive mind? If you are, you won't you won't object. So there is a big government rework. You can see it here quickly. The government is now in three parts. It has ethics, authority and civics. Well, ethics is basically sort of similar to the system before. Authority is determining how power is transferred in the government. Democratic ruler is elected every 10 years, oligarchic ruler is elected 40 to 50 years, and dictatorial rulers are elected but rule for life. And then, of course, imperial rulers rule for life and are succeeded by appointed heirs on death. So that's the authority system. The civics system, that's absolutely new. That adds like unique traits to your empire. So this is like similar to making your species. You would now make your civics. Of course, that can be changed later on. Let's say here, if you reform the government for an influence cost, then you can also pick new civics. In that case, you can probably pick 3 civics because you got some advanced government, and then you can take whatever, an environmentalist free haven with mining guilds or something like that. So this makes your empire a lot more distinguishable again. There's probably going to be no more 2 similar empires in Stellaris. Not even in a game where the AI, where you put 40 AIs, there won't be similar empires anymore. They are all individual, and that's great. So, of course, this all also affects then the distribution of ethics in your empire. So, if you give authority for a leader, like, for example, be careful about letting a xenophile take charge of your supremacist empire. So, it is intertwined with a faction system. So electing a ruler of a particular faction will significantly strengthen the political clout of that faction and the attraction of their related ethics. And of course, if you let a xenophile take charge of the supremacist empire won't be supremacist that long anymore. Especially the civics also lose their validity when your ethics change too strong. Or on the other hand, if you don't adapt to the changing ethics of your population, you will have an unrest and more factions. So, whoa. There's going to be a lot of change. They are using the Savanti Imperium here, which they have used for, or which at least Wiz has used for a lot of his test games, featuring also his Twitter posts. So he explains further that the civics represent the political and social traditions of your government, come in a wide variety of types, primarily limited by your authority and ethics. So this and this determines what you can choose here. In addition to providing modifiers, they can also change how your empire is governed. For example, citizen service civic ties citizenship to military service, so that only species with full military service are afforded the right to vote and become leaders. That makes sense. Like I think it was kind of similar in the Roman Empire too, except not many people could vote there, but at least, yeah, the influence. You had to go to the military to become someone, essentially. On empire creation, you can choose 2 civics, a third able to be unlocked later through research. So if you have an advanced government, you can reform the government, we've already seen here, and pick another civic. So, there's another example, the United Nations of Earth, they're xenophile and probably egalitarian ethic. Democratic, they have the Beacon of Liberty. They get more monthly unity from that, which is pretty good for that culture kind of thing, like the Ascension perks. So let's see what we have further. With a few exceptions, civics authorities are not necessarily permanent. So the few exceptions are the Hive mind, of which we'll hear later. Where previously you could change your government type for 250 influence, you now have the option to effectively rebuild your government at the same cost. So you can remake that. So everything is no more static, but it's dynamic. So you can change your species by genetically modifying them. You can change your ethics by changing the values of your population, and you can reform the government and adapt to that, or you can reform the government as a first step to totally change your empire and make it adapt to the new circumstances that are there. I mean, if you're, for example, if you're playing in a 40 AI very big galaxy, absolutely anything can happen. If you're taking my let's play that is at the moment nearing the year 2500, there's a crazy pact caused by the war of, by the war between 2 awakened empires, the war in heaven, and wow, everyone seems to belong to them, except a few very big empires and a few smaller empires. Everyone belongs to them. So to also belong to them, you would have to reform. We are left out. We are one of these empires that are still independent. Not anymore, though. We have, yeah. Let's talk about the dev diary anymore. But crazy things can happen, and you should be able to adapt to that, and that is what makes it possible. So as your ethics and authority change, you may end up with civics that are no longer valid for your country. For example, a Beacon of Liberty that has lost its egalitarian ethics. So if you lose the egalitarians, then the Beacon of Liberty will still be there, but as long as you don't reform, it won't do anything anymore. When this happens, civic in question will remain but will become inactive and stop providing you with any sort of bonus, effectively a wasted civic slot until you reform your government and replace it, like they're doing here. Right? That is that. So, from authority, civics, and ethics, you pick a government name is finally generated. Government name is purely there to roughly summarize the government you have built, as well as provide flavor, and has no actual impact on gameplay. So I believe they think that is that, like a citizen republic. Yeah. A citizen union of Earth is your empire name, and the government name is called Citizen Republic. I really love that. That's also a change. I mean, if you're going for roleplay, you don't want your empire to change. That was before, like, if there were some changes in the ethics of empires, the whole name would change to something completely different, and you would think, hey, where are these guys now? And then you would see, hey, the Democratic Republic of Germany is now the military dictatorship of Uluru or something like that, named after a new planet or something like that. So that probably won't happen anymore, but I'm cautious about that, at least for your own empire, because you could rename your own empire, but not the, like, for example, the ship prefixes and all kinds of things. So that hopefully won't change, at least for you, not much anymore, or you can directly change it still. But only the name of your government changes, or the type of your government. So this government is a militaristic form of democracy where full citizenship can only be gained through military service, as you can see here, citizen service. So, and now we come to the paid feature. Of course, ever more crazy. Advanced civics. In addition to the normal civics available to everyone, there are also a few special civics that are only available to those with the Utopia expansion. These civics are meant to simulate very specific kinds of societies, generally have more of an impact on your game than the normal civics do. They are as follows. First, we have syncretic evolution. Species evolved along with another subservient species. Second species is randomly generated on your home world, replacing some of your primary species pops. They always have the proles, rebalanced in banks, and strong traits, making them excellent soldiers and workers, but less ideal for intellectual pursuits. This civic provides no additional benefits and cannot be removed once picked. So that is one of these things. So syncretic evolution. Probably a very crazy one. Probably something very nice. I would love to play some... I mean, syncretic evolution... That is so... that is like something out of a great novel. Like, and maybe the proles will revolt then, and you'll have a Planet of the Apes or something like that. Sorry to the apes. It's not clear who is the proles, right? Then mechanist. Your species is obsessed with the pursuit of robotics. Civic requires you to be materialist, and has you start with robotic workers and powered exoskeletons technologies, and a population of worker robots to do the farming and mining for you, replacing some of your primary species pops. This civic provides no additional benefits, cannot be removed once picked. So that's actually a starting benefit that you get, and you already start out with robots, so you might become synthetics very quickly if you're a mechanist. Then we have fanatic purifiers, something new. Your empire will not tolerate the existence of any other sentient life. This civic requires you to be fanatic xenophobe militarist and gives very large boosts to the effectiveness of your military and gives you unity from purging xenopops, but disables all diplomacy with other species and forces all xenopops in your empire to be purged, though you get to choose the method of extermination, so you don't have to kill them still, but it's gonna be crazy. The crazy purifiers. All other regular empires will also have massive relations malus with you. The one and only exception being fanatic purifiers from the same species. All right. Your brothers. Oh man. So this is something that effectively removes your diplomacy from the game, but gives you a march of death to wade through. Wow. I'd definitely be interested in playing any of them. It's a crazy thing we have here. Yeah, look at them, the devouring cluster. The Imperial Devouring Cluster. Blood Court. Oh my god, they'll kill everyone. And then we have the Hive Minds. So, that's something even more different. In addition to the advanced civics, those with the Utopia expansion can also get access to a unique authority with a highly unique playstyle, Hive Mind. They are a species where the individuals are all part of the same vast psionically linked consciousness. The immortal Hive Mind rules absolutely over the population of non-sentient worker drones, using sentient autonomous drones or leaders to extend the reach of its will. Picking the Hive Mind authority requires the Hive Mind ethic, and each can only be picked together with the other. So, yeah, with only one vast and linked consciousness, the guiding values of a Hive Mind is whatever the hive mind player wants it to be. They have their own set of civics that can only be used by hive minds and cannot use any non-hive mind civics. That is here. Hive mind disables tutorial. Oh my god. That's really crazy. It disables the tutorial. What are we gonna do? Hive-minded pops not affected by happiness. So if you remember Master of Orion, well, I don't know if it's also in the new Master of Orion, if you had the unification, that is something similar. Something similar. And will not join factions, so you won't have factions anymore. And hive-minded pops cannot survive in non-hive-mind empires, so if they choose to wander away, they die. Or if they get... If some planets of the hive mind get taken, bam, they are dead. Must use AI outlawed policy, because yeah, the hive mind cannot accept another intelligence there. Cannot follow psionic or synthetic ascension paths because they are already linked psionically. Can genetically modify species to become hive-minded if biological ascension path is completed. So this is your Borg. Have fun with the Borg. One mind, subsumed will. Natural neural network, ascetic, divided of how. I'm so curious about these civics. Maybe there's some previews. On Saturday or Sunday, early Sunday, I might make I will make another Twitter show of what happened through the week, with screenshots and all, regarding the Utopia expansion and Stellaris, and maybe we'll find something there. I'll look at it then. So there is a lot that you can see here. You still have your standard scientists and stuff, but they are all called autonomous drone. I wonder if you can rename them to, like, make out if when someone's died, autonomous drone 55, autonomous drone 57. So all pops from the founder species of a hive mind will have the hive-minded trait, and they are not affected by happiness. Will never form factions, as we've already seen, and you can completely ignore internal politics. This comes at a cost. They also cannot benefit, of course, from the influence boost, other benefits provided by happy factions in a regular empire. As they rely completely on their ability to communicate psionically with the drone population, they are also unable to rule over non-hive-minded pops, and any such pops in your empire will automatically be killed over time and processed into food to feed the hive. So they are fanatical purifiers included. Similarly, hive-minded pops that end up in non-hive-mind empires will be cut off from the hive and will perish over time. Only way to integrate pops between hive minds and non-hive minds is to use the biological ascension path to unlock advanced gene modding and modify them by adding or removing hive-minded. More of this in the next diary. Ooh. However, hive minds can still coexist with other species. They have full access to diplomacy and can have non-hive mind subjects and can be ruled over as subjects in turn, though non-hive mind empires tend to be somewhat distrustful of hive minds on first contact. Ooh, are we going to play a hive mind? A hive mind of space humans. And who is going to be the leader of the hive mind? Is it autonomous drone 57? Or is it autonomous drone 28? Oh man. You can see here, there is no more happiness on that slider. Not affected by happiness. Some crazy things that are going to come. While hive minds are psionic by nature, the way they function and their connection to the shroud is radically different from that of regular psychics, making them unable to follow the psionic ascension path. It would be unbalanced. No. It's probably illogical. Furthermore, hive minds are deeply biological entities and fundamentally incompatible with the synthetic ascension path, of course. They are, however, perfectly suited for the biological ascension path and can make use of it to assimilate other non-hive mind species into the hive as described above. Woo! Next dev diary about the biological and synthetic ascension paths. That's going to be interesting. So if you're planning your hive mind already, tune in next time for the biological ascension path. In the upper right corner, I'm linking the playlist so you know where to look, and it's even easier to just subscribe because there's going to be a lot of Stellaris news coming regularly. As I said, a Twitter overview is coming in 2 days or 3 days, depends on when I have time, just before the new week starts, so you have the full last week covered. And yeah, there's also a running let's play in the very deep with the Unbidden, active with fallen empires awakened, 2 of the 4 that are there, and giant pacts. All kinds of adventures, everything Stellaris, and a great community as well. So if you would like to stay in contact, I'd be happy if you subscribed. Otherwise, as I said, there's the playlist. I'm always making new posts to that, but keep in mind the playlist will not give you messages that it has something new added. That is something you can only get by subscribing, so that's the easier point. Hope you had a good time. If you have picked something else up, I'm always very thankful for comments. So post it in the comments below. There are always things that people pick up from streams that are always not really prominent in these streams, but if you're attentive, you can pick them up, and if you post them, I'm eternally thankful. Otherwise, happy gaming, have fun playing Stellaris or some other games, and see you in one of the next videos, be it an info video or the let's play or a guide. We also have a couple of guides, and they will be renewed with with the Utopia coming, as this is crazy stuff. This is crazy stuff. Cannot wait. Happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel Khan signing out.